Hi, it's me, Carrie. And today we're going to look at how to use Google Sheets to create the 5-number summary, as well as creating and adding a histogram to our spreadsheet. So away we go. Okay, so here's our data. We have the heights of 100 men over here in column A. So that's what all of these things are over here. Let me get my pointer so you can see what I'm pointing at. That's what all of these things are. So to find the 5-number summary, we need the minimum, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum. Luckily, Sheets has a lot of built-in functions that will enable us to find these quantities easily. To put in a function, you're always going to begin with the equals sign, and the function that returns the minimum is called min. Pretty intuitive, right? And we want all of the values from cell A1 all the way down to A100. So just typing those in, A1 colon A100, and if I close the parenthesis, Google has gone through and found the value of the minimum. For the quartile, there's a function called quartile. We need to enter the data, so A1 to A100. And then the number of the quartile that we're looking for, and here we want the first one. So there we go. The function that finds the median is called, you guessed it, median. The third quartile is found using the quartile function again. Come here. A1 to A100, and we want the third quartile. And the maximum, yep, it's max, A1 to A100. And so there we have what is known as the 5-number summary for this data. It gives us information about the range of the data, this one measure of the center of the data, and then a little bit of information about how spread out the data is. But for a more complete picture, literally, of what the data looks like, we're now going to construct and include a histogram in our spreadsheet. So I'm just going through and selecting the data, and I want to insert a chart. A histogram is a kind of graph, and graphs are called charts. And when I insert the chart, this is the kind of chart that I get. Obviously not what I want. So Google has just changed their chart editor. So let's see if we can figure out how to turn this into a histogram. If you look over here, this is the chart editor. And I guess the first thing that we want to do is change the chart type. So there's a bunch of different kinds of charts. Some of them are pretty cool. But the one that we want is a histogram. And so let's just click on that. Yes, that looks much better. What else do we want to do to this chart? Well, we want to customize it. So let's just poke around in here. You can change the background color here. You can change the font. What's in here? Histogram. So the bucket size right here, the bucket size is the width of each of the bars, and it looks like Google has chosen a width of 1.5 inches, which seems okay to me. But if we would like to change that, we could try a 2-inch distance between each of the bars, but I kind of like the first one better. We want to pick a bin width that gives, I don't know, between like 8 and 12 bars, a bin width that shows us the shape of the distribution pretty easily, and it doesn't get too busy down here. Okay, so this looks pretty good. We just need to put a title on here and label each of the axes. So chart and axis titles. The chart title we want to describe what it is that we're looking at. So men's heights. Where do we do the axis titles? Haha. Horizontal axis title. This is going to be the height in inches. Height in inches. And so we see that right here. Oh, this is looking good. We also want the vertical axis. And for a histogram, the vertical axis is always the frequency. And so we see that right here. And I would say that our work here is done with putting a histogram into our spreadsheet. I might want to move it down a pinch so as not to cover up my crazy picture of this super tall guy and this super tiny guy.